Hi, I'm Michelle Begue with a look at what's happening in Latin America now. But first, our news trivia. What Latin American country celebrates La Calabiusa Festival, similar to the Day of the Dead? We'll have the answer later. One Colombian and one Ecuadorian died during the flash floods that killed over 200 people in Valencia, Spain. Colombian President Gustavo Petro announced Monday on social media that there are also 4 Colombians reported as missing. Consulates from different Latin American countries have been providing assistance to their communities and working with local authorities to confirm if there are more victims. Honduras confirmed that 7 people reported as missing were located later alive. The government of the Dominican Republic confirmed on Monday that the consulate had finally verified that there were no Dominican victims missing or injured. After EU citizens, Latin American people are the largest group of migrants in Valencia, with Colombia, Bolivia, and Ecuador having the most presence. Presidents from several Latin American countries have offered help to Spain. El Salvador officials say they have imprisoned a gang leader who had fled to the United States. Officials identified him as Victor Alfonso Arias Rodas and said he is a leader of the Mara Salvatruchas gang. He was tried and convicted for homicide and sentenced to 25 years in prison. Arias Rodas is now in the new maximum security prison known as the Terrorism Confinement Center. These images are from Brazil and show the moment when a Brazilian court sentenced the murderers of Councilwoman Marielle Franco. Family members finally saw justice when Franco's 2 killers were sentenced to 78 and 59 years in jail. The 2 former military police officers confessed to killing the Rio de Janeiro politician and her driver, Anderson Gomez, in a drive-by shooting on March 14, 2018. The crime shocked Brazilians, and more than 6 years later, they have finally been sentenced. Check out these images of an Andean condor named Rafiki, born in Colombia. He was born at Bogotá's Jaime Duque Park and is the first of its species to be successfully bred in an artificial incubator in Colombia in 20 years. The condor was incubated for 60 days under heat lamps. Now the difficult task of raising him so he can be let out into the wild. He is currently 3 months old, and in order to keep his contact with humans to a minimum, he is being fed rats by a puppet adult condor, manipulated by a human hand. The Andean condor is in danger of becoming extinct. Now let's see what stories we're following for next week. Peru is preparing for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, known as Apec. It is the 3rd time Peru will chair the summit that will host more than 160 meetings across 5 cities. As host, the South American nation hopes to enhance ties with Asia-Pacific, attracting investments and boosting different sectors. In preparation for high-level dignitaries who will be in attendance, Peruvian authorities have declared November 14th through the 16th non-working days and are ramping up security. And now the answer to our news trivia. The answer is A. La Calabiusa is celebrated in El Salvador, more specifically in Tonacatepeque, a district of San Salvador. It is celebrated on the night of November 1st, similar to the Day of the Dead, which pays tribute to the indigenous folklore of the region, with characters like Siguanawa, El Cipitío, and El Cadejo. Local historians say 16th century Spanish conquistadors tried to stop the tradition, but it continues to this day. And that's it for this week. We'll see you again soon on Latin America Now.